Okay, perfect. So if you get yourself started in a comfortable seat, and make sure you've got water nearby, it's really hot out. And we're gonna work on the root chakra today, which is called the Muladhara chakra. And we'll be using mudra for this as well. And it's just touching your thumb to your pointer finger, kind of like the okie dokie symbol, and then palms up, place it on your lap. So this is the mudra associated with the root chakra. And if you'd like, you can allow your eyes to close or take a soft gaze at the floor in front of you. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the root chakra before we get started with a breathing exercise. So the reason you tucked your thumb to your pointer finger here is because the thumb represents the fire element and the pointer finger represents air, and air fuels the fire. And so what we're trying to do is use our inner fire and fuel it with this air to clear out our chakras and our energy pathways, to give ourselves energy to do the work that we need to do. The cleansing of the root chakra is associated with the alleviation of anxiety and stress, which we store in our hips and our spine and lower back, and sometimes in our stomach as well. And so it's about settling those parts of the body and stretching and twisting them out to create this room so that we're not paralyzed by our anxiety, our fear, our sadness, our anger, and we have this room to carry on. So if you touch your thumbs to your pointer finger and place them open on your lap, allow the eyes to close and begin to focus on your energy source, your inner fire. We're going to take 5 rounds of hot, heavy breaths. So you'll inhale through the nose deeply, open up the mouth wide, exhale loud. 4 more times on your own breath, feeling the heat it creates in your body. And so when you're ready, allowing your breath to return back to its normal pace, allowing the body to cool slightly, and perhaps setting an intention for your practice today. When I'm working on clearing out my root chakra, it's something I like to focus a meditation and a mantra on what I'd like to put my newfound energy into. And take a moment to just sit with that. On your next inhale, place your palms flat on your knees, shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, roll the shoulders down the spine. 3 more times back. Inhale's drawing those shoulders up. Exhale's taking a nice deep circle. And then 4 times forward. Next, placing your right hand on your heart, your left hand on your stomach. We're going to take 3 ohms to open the practice. One of the hardest parts about teaching yoga virtually for me is not having everybody here with me, knowing that we're practicing and sweating and connecting together. And I like everybody saying Om at the same time because it sends out those same vibrations and you know that you're connected through the energies in the air. So I'll cue 3 inhales, and on the exhales, we'll make the sound Om. Ready? Inhale. Inhale. time. Inhale. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist over to the left. So your right hand comes to your left knee. Your left hand is behind your left hip. Allow your inhales to grow the spine taller, look up. Exhales, twist a little deeper, try and look over that left shoulder. The root chakra sits at the base of the spine, and so it's nice to do these deep spinal twists to begin that opening, that cleansing of toxins. Next, inhale, come to face forward. Exhale, twist to the other side, left hand to right knee. Inhale, forward. Exhale, bring the soles of the feet together in butterfly. We're gonna open the hips a little bit. If your hips are already feeling pretty loose today, you can take a block and put it underneath the ankles. This will deepen the hip opening in butterfly. Otherwise, you can keep the soles of the feet together and place them on the ground. In order to get yourself closer to the ground, sometimes it's nice to actually scoop your hands underneath the ankles. Inhale the spine up tall. Exhale, pull yourself downward, creating this nice deep hip opening. And breathe here. One more round of breath. And then if your legs are up on a block, bring them down, and everybody make your way into a table. So hips are over the knees, shoulders over elbows, over wrists. We're just gonna take a few circles to awaken the wrists. So you're just gonna rock your body from side to side, moving in a circular motion, taking a couple times in each direction. I am very guilty of not giving my wrists enough love before doing yoga. Coming back to your table, 5 rounds of cat-cow. Inhales, lower the belly, look up. Exhales, arc the back, look towards the belly button. 4 more at your own pace. Settling into your table when you're finished. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the right arm under the left armpit, resting on the right shoulder. Left arm can come out in front of you or bend along the back, reaching towards the right hamstring. Breathing here in this spinal twist, the shoulder opener. Next, inhale, left hand plants back down, right arm up to the sky. Exhale, right hand under right shoulder. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, right hand down, left arm back up. Exhale, plant it back down. We're gonna raise our hips into downward dog now. So tuck your toes, place your hands forward from your shoulders, lift the hips back to downward dog. And take a moment to pedal out the heels. It's called walking the dog, which I think is cute. Dogs are the best at this pose. Cats do a pretty good job too. So you really want to be extending through those shoulders so you're not forward, you're arcing up and back. It's more important to extend through the shoulders than to have your heels come to the ground. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, raise up onto the toes. Exhale, lower the knees to the ground. You're gonna come to a seat now with your feet on the floor and your knees up. We're gonna do seated stag now, which is a really nice hip and spine twist. So with your knees up, gently press them over to the left so that your right knee is sitting in the arc of your left foot. Bring your arms up into goddess or cactus arms. Take a deep inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, turn around so you're facing backwards. Okay, you don't have to be an owl who can fully rotate. Just lower yourself down wherever it's comfortable. I'm gonna do this backwards so you can see my front now. So I'm turning around towards the back and coming down onto my forearms. And once you're here, if it's comfy, you can walk yourself a little bit further over. 2 rounds of breath wherever you're finding a good twist, not a painful one. Inhale, come back up onto those palms and walk yourself forwards. Both knees come up. Exhale, legs down towards the right so that your left knee is in the arc of the right foot. Keep breathing as you bring your arms up to cactus and twist around back. Twists naturally constrict the breath, so it's a good reminder to go deep and slow in our breathing patterns. Inhale up to the palms. Exhale, twist around forwards. We're gonna come to our first squat of the practice. We'll be opening and closing both our practice with a squat to see how much hip mobility we get from our hip openers. So there's 2 options. You can either bring yourself to stand up tall, bring your stance wide and squat down, or if it's comfortable, bring your feet wide while you're seated and push yourself right up into a squat. So it's not about pushing yourself at this moment. It's just about finding whatever position feels good for you, engages the thighs, but doesn't hurt the hips. You can bring your hands to heart center and maybe shift yourself from side to side. See where you can get down to, but no pressure. Let's take 1 more deep round of breath here. Everybody inhale. And exhale. Stand up tall, turn your toes towards the front of the room. Forward fold. Opening up the backs of the legs. Letting the head hang heavy. If your neck is hurting, you can give it a nice deep stretch by webbing your fingers together and pressing lightly on the back of the head. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Make your way to the front of your mat. We're gonna take 3 rounds of flow now to build heat. I'll walk you through the full thing. If you have chaturanga to up dog in your practice, feel free to take it. I'll be teaching lowering knees, chest, and chin to cobra. So Feet underneath your hips, hands by your sides, palms open forward. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins, look out. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into a strong high plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees, your chest, and your chin to the floor. Exhale, bring the tops of the feet to the floor, hug those elbows in, lift the chest for cobra. Exhale, lifting through table, tuck the toes, lift to downward dog. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. Inhale, raise up to the toes. Exhale, step, hop, or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna do that 2 more times, but a little bit faster. Every movement still on the breath. Ready? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Hold here, 5 breaths this time. Remembering that you can always come down to child to ground yourself in with the earth and take a breather. Inhale up to the toes. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands by your sides. 1 more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Instead of holding here, inhale your right leg up to the sky. Option 1, hold here in 3-legged dog. Option 2, bend the knee, open the hip. Give yourself a nice deep hip stretch. And breathe. Inhale to straighten the leg. Exhale, step right foot to right thumb. So you're in a little runner's lunge here. If you'd like, you can take high lunge here. So you'll bring the arms up and make sure the knee is over the ankle. If it's more comfortable and doesn't hurt your knee, you can lower the left knee and flip onto the top of the left foot. This exercise can be done both ways. So we're gonna do 3 rounds of inhale, arc forward, crescent lunge, making sure that you're growing tall and then arcing back, not crunching the back. And then our exhales, we'll sit back, stretch forward. You can either keep the toes tracking down or roll onto the heel. If you keep the toes down, it opens up the top of the foot and the back of the calf, versus if you roll onto the heel, it's more the back of the thigh and the inner thigh. So whatever you'd prefer, everybody, 3 rounds. Inhale forward, exhale, stretch back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale, come forward 1 more time, but then lower the hands. Exhale, tuck the left toes, step the right foot back, downward dog. Inhale, left foot to the sky. Option 1, hold here. Option 2, bend the knee, open the hip. Hold in your hip opener. Inhale to straighten the leg. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. Option 1, take the stretches in high lunge. Option 2, take it in low lunge, whichever feels good. 3 rounds on your own breath. Inhale forward, last time. Exhale, tuck the back toes, step the left foot back, downward dog. Inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, step, hop, or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're holding here. Option 1, let your hands dangle down towards the earth. Option 2, grab opposite elbows with opposite hands. Allow it to pull you down deeper. Holding here. Inhale, arms up tall. Exhale, hands by your sides. Opening up the backs of the legs is really important for opening up those hips because they're so connected, and it can be really hard to wiggle your hips into a comfortable position if you can't wiggle your legs too. Bringing your feet wider than your hips this time. Toes turned out 45 degrees. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. So just crawling yourself down towards the earth. Your hands can just dangle here, or if they fall completely to the ground, you can flip your fingertips towards your toes, walk yourself back. The wider you make your stance, the easier it'll be to get down to the ground. The closer your feet are together, the more open the backs of your legs will need to be. Next, inhale, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Bring your feet just about a footprint closer together. So you're not crazy wide, but it's also not too narrow, just a little bit wider than the shoulders. Inhale, hands to the hips, stand up tall. Exhale, bring the right toes in and the left toes perpendicular to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward over that left leg. Breathing here. Next, inhale, arms come up. Exhale, bend left knee over left ankle, warrior 1. So your back toes are turned in about 45 degrees, standing tall, making sure your shoulders aren't scrunched all the way up towards your ears. Breathe here, feeling your strength and finding your stability. I find it really powerful to engage the Mula Bandha here, which is right around where your bladder is. So you squeeze it nice and tight and hold yourself in. That way you're feeling the stomach's connection to the root chakra. The Mula Bandha and the Muladhara chakra, both M's. Inhale, stand up tall, straighten the front leg. Exhale, flip your feet so that your right toes are perpendicular to the back of your mat, left toes in, and then settle into warrior 1 on this side. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, face the side of your mat again and come into that wide squat one more time. But this time we're not trying to go crazy low. Keep those knees over the ankles, up tall, arms to cactus. We're gonna do some alternating of the bending. We're opening the side body. So you're gonna bring your left elbow down towards your left knee, and then inhale up, exhale, right elbow towards right knee. It's nice for opening the spine. We're gonna start like this a couple more times, and then we'll add in a twist. And standing and squat is good for the hips. Coming back up tall, twisting over to the left, opening both arms to the left. Exhale forward. Inhale right. Exhale forward. One more time each side. I don't know about you, but my thighs are shaking. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe taking a side bend from side to side to open up those thighs that we just gave a lot of strength to. And then heel toeing the feet together so that they're underneath the hips. Make your way down to your knees and slowly come onto your back. We're gonna do some hip opening stretches on our back. If you have a strap, this is a great opportunity to use it. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or like a winter scarf or a fashion scarf, whatever you've got. Otherwise, I'll tell you how to do it with your hands. So, laying down on your back, if you've got a strap, you'll wrap it around the ball of the right foot. If you don't have a strap for all of these exercises, you're gonna web your fingers behind your thigh. Make sure you don't do the knee, that can hurt the knee. So, right leg up tall, and then gently pull it in towards the chest. I'm gonna hold each of these stretches for 3 breaths. I really like doing these on my back because it allows me to get deeper into the stretch than when I'm seated. Take one more inhale. Exhale, cross the right leg over the left side of the body. So taking your strap in your left hand, allow the right leg to drape over. It doesn't have to come all the way down to the ground. Just feeling that stretch in the side of the hip and thigh. Maybe looking out over the right palm. Next, inhale brings the leg up tall again. Exhale, switch the strap into the right hand and open the leg to the right side, making sure not to drop it open, but intentionally bring it down. Opening up the inner hip and the pelvis. Next, inhale, bring that leg up tall. Exhale, remove the strap, lower the right leg to the ground. We're gonna bring the strap around the sole of the left foot this time, holding it up straight first. 3 breaths. Inhale, cross the left leg over the right side of the body. Look out over the right hand. Or the left hand, sorry. Inhale that leg up. Exhale, open the left leg to the left side. Slow and intentional. Inhale, up tall. Exhale, remove the strap, lower the left leg down. Bring the soles of the feet onto your mat, and then cross your right ankle below your left knee. We're gonna take reclining pigeon here. So wrap the hands around the back of the left thigh and hug that left thigh into the chest. You should feel your right hip, your right side hip beginning to open. Sometimes in root chakra flows, I like to slow down in the middle because it can have a tendency to become a fast burn, right? We're opening the hips, we're flowing, we're moving quickly, but the bonfire doesn't always get things done. So we want a nice, slow, steady burn that gives us the energy to keep going long term. Both legs up towards the sky, give them a little shake, and then bring the sole of the right foot down, cross left ankle below right knee, hug the right thigh towards the chest. Both legs up towards the sky. Bring the palms down by the sides of the hips. Engage the core and the Mula Bandha ever so slowly. Lower those legs to the ground, taking a little bit of a core exercise here. When they reach the ground, bending the knees. And allow both legs to drift over to the right side for a supine twist. But instead of our traditional supine twist, you're actually going to take the right heel and place it on top of the left knee. This is a little bit of it opens the outside of the hip in a way that we don't normally access. Inhale, bring both legs up tall, unwind. Exhale, droop the legs over to the left side and bring the left heel on top of the right knee. Inhale, both legs up, hug the knees into the chest, take a few rocks and push yourself to standing. We're gonna do a flow into a hip opener. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Deep inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, pull through to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step right foot to right pinky. So we're coming to lizard, which is one of my favorite poses. So your right foot is right by your right pinky, and you can either stay up on your hands, or if this is too deep for you, you can bring your hands up onto blocks or a chair in front of you. If you'd like to come down further, lower onto your forearms. The option is there for your back knee to be lifted or to be down on the mat. If you would like to go even deeper than this, make sure your knee is lowered to the mat. Press up onto both palms. Keep your left hand strong and firm. Lift through that left armpit so you're not sinking into the shoulder. You're lifted. And grasp the outside of the right knee and come onto the pinky edge of the right foot. This will give you a really nice hip opener. It goes nice and deep. Wherever you're at, we're going to take a yin approach to this pose and hold it for an extended period, 5 breaths. your knee is out to the side, gently guide it back in. Place your right hand on the inside of the right foot. Tuck the left toes. Step right foot back to left, down dog. Take a moment to pedal it out. Your right hip is going to feel vastly different from your left at the moment. And then when you're ready, inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot to left pinky. Same options here. Your hands can come up on something. Your hands can be down on the floor. Your forearms and back knee can come down. Or you can plant that right hand, grasp your left knee, roll onto the pinky edge of the left foot. If having your knee down hurts, but you want this deep hip opener, you can fold the back of your mat in or place a blanket underneath it and use it as a bit of a knee cushion. 5 breaths. Bring that left foot back flat on the ground if your knee is out. Place left hand on the inside of left foot. Tuck the right toes, step back, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath here. Then lower the knees to the floor. Bring the big toes to touch. Sit hips back to heels, child's pose. Taking a moment to roll the head from side to side, temple to temple. Allowing your hips to sit back. And extending through the shoulders. Inhale to come up. Exhale, find a comfortable seat, breathing at your own pace. We're going to take a stacked log pose. If you have a blanket nearby, a block, or just use your hands, whatever works. We're going to start with our right leg on the ground. So you're going to bring your right heel and knee parallel to whatever edge of the mat you're facing. So I'm facing the wide edge of my mat, so I've got my heel and knee both along the wide edge. Then I'm going to take my left heel and bring it to my right knee, bringing my left knee above my right ankle/heel. There's a lot of space here. In traditional log pose, your knee goes all the way down. My hips are not that open today. So you can either place a block or a folded blanket in between. Or if you don't have any of those materials, you just take your left hand on your left knee and hold and support it while you grasp your left foot with your right hand. So you'll just hold yourself in this pose. If you'd like a little deeper, you can ever so gently press the left hand down on the left knee. Hold here for 3 more breaths. Next, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, place it out to the side so that your left knee is in line with your left hip. Walk your hands out and down. Keep breathing. This will stretch the opposite hip ever so lightly, or maybe deeply, depends. Inhale, walk yourself up. And then as you exhale, bring your left leg parallel with the side of your mat. We're going to take the right foot on top this time, So bringing your right ankle on top of your left knee and your right knee floating over top of your left ankle. Same thing, support it with some sort of prop or use your hands. Remembering that if you're pressing down on the right knee, you're doing it gently and looking for that like lovely, delicious stretch, not that tearing off open. Please don't hurt yourself. Lifting the right leg up and setting it over to the side so the right knee is in line with the right hip. Walk your chest down towards the ground. Inhale to come up. Bring both feet in front of you. Place your hands behind your hips and just windshield wiper your legs from side to side for a moment. We're going to make our way into our last deep hip opener of the practice. It is pigeon, but there are two ways you can take it. So if you would like, you can take reclining pigeon, which we took before, which is where you make your way to your back. And we'll start with the right foot forward. So if you're reclining, your right ankle crosses below the left knee and hug the left thigh into the chest. The top foot can even come up if you want to add some ankle rolls. Alternatively, if you're near a wall, you can place that left foot on the wall and use that as leverage to press the right leg towards you. If you'd like to come into traditional pigeon, I find the easiest way is to come to table or downward dog and bring your right foot to your right thumb and then heel toe your right foot over to your left thumb. And then gently bring the right knee down to the floor. Now it's not crucial that your right shin be parallel to the front of your mat. Your knee can tuck, or your chin, oh my goodness, your heel can tuck in, and then you settle your hips back. So I have my right heel pretty close to my pelvis. It's not anywhere near the front of my mat, but my right knee is bent out front. You can stay up on your hands, lower down onto your forearms, or bring your head onto your hands. If your hip needs a little bit of extra support, you can tuck a blanket or a block in this space right here. So find something you can shove under your booty and make your way down. Whatever feels comfy. Breathing here. This is one of those nice poses that the longer you stay in it, the more you can physically feel your body settle into openness and release. Pressing up onto the hands if you're down. Stepping your right foot back to your left, either in table or dog, shaking the hips out for a moment. If you're in reclining pigeon, bringing both feet to the floor and windshield wipering those knees from side to side. And then taking reclining pigeon or pigeon with the left leg forward. Crawling up when you're ready. And meeting in table. As promised, we'll close our practice with our squat just to see if our hips feel any different. It's okay if they don't. But you'll step your right foot to your right pinky. Tuck the left toes, step left foot to left pinky. You can either stand up nice and tall and see how far down you go, or settle into wherever your squat is comfy. If your Achilles tendons and hips allow you to come down to the floor, see if you can bring your elbows to the inside of the knee. If you're up nice and tall, you can still bring those elbows out. It's a nice mudra to take. Sorry, I'm in our community room. People might walk by. Maybe sway the hips gently from side to side. Plant your left hand on the floor or bring it to the outside of the left thigh. Reach the right arm up, nice side, body, and shoulder stretch. And coming up tall, reaching for the other side, right hand down or to the thigh and left arm up. If you're down nice and low, bringing both hands to the floor, bring your toes to face forward and let yourself drop down into a seat comfortably. If you're squatting up nice and high, inhale to stand up. Exhale, bring yourself down to the ground. Option for bridge or supported bridge here. So bend the knees, lay down on the back. Bring the palms by the hips face down. And either lift the hips up, arcing towards the sky for bridge. Perhaps clasping the hands underneath and scooting the shoulders closer together if there's room. Or placing a block or blanket or book underneath the hips and settling the hips down onto it. Allowing yourself and your body to settle into supported bridge. If you're in supported bridge, 10 breaths in a row. If you're in raised bridge, see if you can take 5 breaths, lower down, and then raise for 5 or so more. Removing any props, lowering the hips to the ground, touching the soles of the feet together and opening the legs wide for reclining Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly. Taking a few settling hips here as you fly your wings or shake your hips from side to side, or just settle. Bringing the knees in towards the armpits, feet up towards the sky, grasping the pinky toe edge of your feet for happy baby. Rock yourself from side to side. Taking your time here, or taking any last stretches that feel good for you before we settle into our final pose, Shavasana, our meditative end to the practice. When you're ready to find that pose, I'm going to switch the music for us here. You can either lay down on your back, perhaps bringing your palms to touch over the lower belly, which is where the root chakra is, except it's along the spine, but it's not really comfy to lay with your hands underneath your back. So you can bring your hands to your belly, or if you find a seated position more comfortable, same thing. Perhaps you would like to touch your hands to your back, opening the shoulders and chest. We'll start with a slight guided meditation before relaxing to the sounds of the music and the ambient noise around us. Bringing your intention back to the front of your head, feeling your heart. Let it resonate through the body. Feeling both your physical and spiritual energies. Take a deep inhale and bring new breath inward. Exhale, expel that which no longer serves you. Continuing this slow, deep pattern of inhalation and exhalation. Allow your inhales to remind you to relax and renew. Your exhales to let go and release. Like a wave of breath crashing over you. We focused so much today on the opening of the hips and the low back, the twisting out of stiffness, strangeness, and any feelings that have been settling there, perhaps of sadness or fear, anger or frustration. Your mind and body stretched them out, twisted them into something more productive, clearing the chakras and energy pathways to make space for whatever action best suits you, to fuel you for whatever your week holds. Inhale, relaxation. Exhale, release. Just breathe. beginning to reawaken the conscious mind. Bring light flutters to the fingertips and toes. Perhaps rolling to your right side, your right hand as your pillow when you're ready. For a few more breaths on your sticky mat in your space. Coming up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed or softly gazing at the floor in front of you. Bringing the tip of the thumb to the tip of the pointer finger, palms open, air to fuel your fire, keeping it going. Fill yourself with gratitude for your practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. It has been a pleasure to meet you here on your mat. By the mercy of my teachers, the light within me honors the light within all of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here today. Just a reminder that this class is every Tuesday from 5:30 to 6:30, and you are all always welcome. Please feel free to tell friends and family. The more, the merrier.